Hello everyone and welcome to Bevins Bricks. In today's video I wanted to have a little fun, and what I mean by a little fun is I want to show you some of my favorite illegal build techniques that I've used and where I've used them throughout some of the builds I have in my city. So if this is something that interests you, stick around because it's coming up. Now first I'm going to start with a few of my small builds. Now some of you may recognize these if you've been a long-time member of my channel. But anyway, it's this typewriter and desk, this sewing machine, and then this shelving unit that I built in my old antique Lego shop. Which, if you search through my videos, I do have that video still posted so you can see those three builds, and I do even have instructional videos, if I'm not mistaken, on all three of those videos. As far as the original building that those are placed in though, I'll put a link right here so you can go back and watch that video if you haven't seen it already. And then a lot of you, I know, I'm sure, are familiar with this particular little mock, which is a Lego chopper. Now the first thing I'm going to show you with these two little guys here is they both have something in common. And I don't know if you'll notice it right away if you're staring at them, but it has to do with the front of the motorcycle here and the front of the sewing machine here. And what it's in relation to is this little part here. Now, like I said, a lot of people tell me it's an illegal build, but I like it. And what I've done for the motorcycle, for example, is I have taken, and I just dropped that part. Anyway, I'm sure as you've seen, if you've watched the motorcycle video or the sewing machine how-to video, I just take the arm out and I push it in like that. Now in the case of the motorcycle, I actually take another one of those and I put it on there for the color of the bike. In the situation of this particular motorcycle, it was red. But now for the sewing machine, you just literally do that little move there and that gives you the front of it. But something else, since I've got both of these builds sitting here in front of me, the next illegal build technique I showed you at the very beginning of the video was putting bricks together like that. And again, on this particular build, that is how I attached the legs. What you do is you just simply take the modified plate, you slide it in like so, and you have some really unique looking legs for the sewing machine. Something else I would like to point out about that technique, I've never considered that to be an illegal technique, and there's a reason I say that. I wish I knew the actual set number off the top of my head, but I don't. But what it was is in the 70s, I had an old police set, and the instructions actually showed you to put the trans clear bricks on top of the police car, just like so that way you had the red and the blue on the top of the cop car. And that was in an official Lego set direction. So to me, that is not an illegal build in any way, shape, or form, because if it was illegal, why did Lego actually use it and produce it in a Lego set? Now the next build I want to discuss is still in reference to that little part there, and it is the sewing machine. And how this sewing machine keys are put on there, and again, I do have a video on how to make this sewing machine, and it is a bit of a fickle build, but it is a very fun build. But anyway, what you do is you take that arm out of all those pieces and then you slide it in a grilled brick. And again, I'm going to be putting the link of the video for how to do this, so that way if that's something that you're really interested in, you can take a look at that and see how that goes yourself. Now the last illegal technique I'm going to show you, and it's still in regards to that little lever piece, but again, on this particular situation, the lever has been removed from it. But these make great holders for Lego windows. One of the really great ways you can use it is for making and using it for glass, say in a shower for any particular build. But what I actually used it for here, as you can see, is this is a glass shelving cabinet that I had made for, again, my Lego antique shop. And I use it to hold the glass shelving for each shelf spot. And it holds it really well, and it holds it in place. And I always thought this was a really unique and cool looking table. Now this next technique I'm going to show you involves these little Lego grill plates. And I really wish I could show you where I actually used it in my build, but it's in my airport, and it's really hard to access my airport's Lego ice cream shop. So I'm going to try and explain it to you in this video, but if anybody's wanting to see more in-depth detail about this specific style of build that I'm going to show you, I will make a video on that at a later date. But anyway, if you take 2 grill plates like that, actually you'd want to have 4 of them, because you're going to want to have 1 window in the back, and you would have 1 window in the front channel of the two plates. Anyway, and then once you have your 2 windows side by side, they slide back and forth in that track. Now, it requires some unique building coming up here with bricks on the side and things of that nature to make another track on the top of it. But it's a really unique space-saving technique without having to use a full door frame. And you can have 1 door, because you'll have 1 plate of glass here and 1 plate of glass in this one, except it'll be on these 2 plates over here. And now you're only using 1 stud in depth instead of having to use 2 studs in depth like they do with Lego. But again, I was told this is an illegal build technique. But like I said, this is the best way I can show it currently, because I can't get to the room that it's in on my airport build itself. This last technique I can show you, but I'm going to show you here on my build table first, and then we're going to go over to my convention center so I can show you where I actually used it. But anyway, if you take this modified plate with the clip on the top of it, and you take a Lego brick, or plate, excuse me, and you shove it down in there, it will actually hold that upright for you. Now let's go take a walk over to the convention center, and I'll show you what I actually mean. And now that we are over at my convention center, I'm hoping that you can see I used it for the women's room stalls, the men's room stalls, and also the divider between the toilets that are in my Lego convention center. And I'm going to leave it there for that video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I do have a few more techniques that I like to use on occasion, but I'm going to save them for another video at a later date. But again, if there's any of these techniques that you would like to see more in depth on, I did try to post the links to the videos that they were listed in, or the how-to videos on those, except for, like I said, the glass with the plate, with the grate plate, I should say, for the sliding windows. Now that one I've never made a video on, so if that's something that somebody would be interested in seeing, I will try to make a video on that at a future date. So anyway, as always, thank you for coming to Bevins Bricks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment below. And if you get a chance, don't forget to check my links, as any and all sales from those links do help to support my page. So until next time, we'll see you on Bevins Bricks.